Hello, this is David Dean, and getting this video out just a little bit late. I didn't think they were updating the store today. I thought they were waiting for the upload, but then I logged on to do some missions, and sure enough, we got the new Duet Steampunk Assault Rifle. And it is a pretty interesting one. I do absolutely love the look of it. It's probably one of my favorites in the game as far as appearance, and I will be getting out of the gameplay later to show you all the different options for loading this thing out. I went with a crit rating build with 1 crit rating, 2 crit damages, and then magazine size, so I hardly ever have to reload this thing. It does have normally a very large magazine size. I think it starts with 60. We'll check that out. But it starts with a low crit hit chance. So even though I put a perk in there for it, it's only at 38% right now. And damage is up to 545. But part of that is the hero I am using with it. And how many we got of these annoying things coming in? Anything behind? Alright. Pop them. And we'll take out this guy. Alright, we good to go again? We're good to go. Alright. Always have the wanderers coming around. For the loadout, what I'm using here, really you got 2 main ones you can go with as far as assault rifle. I'm using the one that does the assault crit damage by 225%. I do have to go back in and test this out at some time to make sure it's giving that full percentage. A lot of these perks do not. But then I went with every shot increases range weapon damage by 1% up to 25 stacks. Switching weapons or reloading removes buffs. As you saw, this thing has a cartridge of over 100 shots, so I'll be able to utilize this high weapon damage quite a bit. Also, by using a large clip for ammo, firing a ranged weapon grants 1 stack of Holiday Spirit, up to 50 stacks that is removed when you reload. So I'll be able to get this one after 50 shots or max it out at 50 shots, and that gives you increased weapon damage, but you also lose some stability. But I figure it's worth it. When I do reload, it increases weapon damage by 15% for 5 seconds. And then assault damage. This is the other hero. I'll be showing that off when we hop out of the gameplay. And that just increases your base assault weapon damage by 17%, and even higher if you have it as your main hero, and then make it rain. Every headshot increases headshot damage. I kind of took this one just because there isn't much else to put in there, but it actually worked out pretty good, because this assault rifle is basically a slow firing assault rifle. Let's see, get down here. A high damage assault rifle that's good for sustained fire due to the slow rate of fire and large magazine capacity. Not very accurate. There we go. What happened to my smasher friend? Oh, I must have accidentally shot him. So we'll hop up here. I wanted to show off anyway. And so as you can see, it kind of has a slow fire rate going on, but it does good solid damage. And I actually like it as a weapon for taking out waves of husk. Now, this will never be my main one for taking out smashers. As you can see, for taking out a smasher, it definitely takes a while. And I would much rather use the blunderbuss for that. But for taking out waves of husky husk and other husks coming in, this thing works great. I'm kind of different from most people on that. I do like weapons that have the slower fire rate but really heavy damage and good impact on them. And to me, this reminded me a lot of the Deathstalker, which I used to use like crazy on my other account and haven't done so too much on this one just because there's always some new weapon coming out. So let's go ahead. We got one more smasher we can play around with over here somewhere. Unfortunately, both of them were elemental smashers, but one thing I found, as I said already, when testing this thing out, it's really just not made for that. This thing is made for, kind of like right here, if you got a group with Husky Husk, they drop fast, you can quick switch over to the next one 1 or 2 shots, they drop. And where did he go? All right. Oh, hey, how you doing, Mr. Smasher? And yeah, just does not have the damage enough to compare to the blunderbuss. I know I'm taking damage. There we go. We'll finish off both of these and they're out. So let's go ahead, and I did do this in a level 100 mission. I was going to do the level 100 or 128 just to show you in a max mission, but every other video out there for over a year now has been in level 100 missions. So to have this weapon compared to those other weapons you've seen, I just wanted to keep it at the level 100. First of all, over on the item shop, they do have gas traps in there. If you're new to the game and don't have the gas trap legendary yet, definitely grab the gas trap. That is my top damage dealer trap in the game. Alright, here we go with this beautiful looking, and I gotta say, I do love the look of all the steampunk weapons. We still don't have the steampunk spear. I don't know if they just gave up on that or what, but let's look over here. As I said, it starts off with a low crit chance, only 10%. So you kind of have to decide, do you just want to take it up to 38% by putting 1 perk in, or do you want to put a second perk in there to get it up to the high 40s, low 50s, but you get some diminished returns. You get the crit hit, but I think that might be influenced by my hero layout. So we will go ahead and, well, actually I'll show you the hero layout and then I'll get rid of it so we got accurate numbers. Assault crit damage increased by 225, and that's tactical assault sledgehammer. This one is great for clips that have really high capacity. Is the Bullet Storm Jonesy with the every shot increases range damage or range weapon damage, and it would be even nice to put him in as the main hero on it. And then Mad Tidings. This one, I love it. It's kind of crazy, but it does give you, if you have a large clip, a ton of extra damage when you're going off on something. Definitely when you're taking out a mini boss, this is a great thing to have. And hit locked and loaded. Most people use this one on a variety of their builds. After reloading, the weapon increases damage by 15% for 5 seconds. So a good little damage bonus. Assault damage. This is the other one that definitely could be used as a main hero for this build. This is Rescue Trooper Ramirez, and basically just increasing assault weapon damage by 17% or just straight up 50% for every single shot. And then finally, Make It Rain. Urban Assault Headhunter, and with this one, every headshot increases headshot damage by 4% for 2 seconds. Kind of nice if you're getting those headshots on the husk. And yeah, I wasn't trying all that hard in this video. And let's go ahead. Whoops. Like I said, wanted to change him out just so it doesn't mess with my numbers. We'll stick with that. Alright. And back to item shop to see what it's like when you first get it. Alright, now the crit hit damage is down where it should be, 50%. Rate of fire, as you saw, it's a much slower fire rate. Other ones have like 10 to 12 for that machine gun feel. This definitely does not have that. Magazine at the base is 60, as you saw with my build. I got it over 100. Range is medium range for an assault rifle, and then a decent impact on it, which is pretty cool. Reload's 2.5, but usually with such a large magazine, I'm not having to worry about that. Getting over to the weapon itself. As I got it spec'd out, actually we'll go to modified perks. Here, crit rating, damage, rate of fire, reload speed. You could do, let's see, 1 rate of fire. Nope. I was wondering if you could really amp this thing out on rate of fire, but you're only getting 1 perk towards that. And I'd rather have that high crit damage, just because the fact is a lot of times you're just taking out a bunch of little husks, and it is great when you can do that with a single shot. And once again, got crit damage here. You could go crit rating to get this up maybe into the low 50s, but I'd rather have the extra crit damage on it because you do not get the diminished returns with the 2 crit damages. And then energy, I just always go with that because I don't know what I'm going to be fighting, so might as well use something that does steady damage against all the different elemental husks. Magazine size, as I said, I increased that. It was at 60, now we're at 105. So don't worry about having to reload as often, and because you do have that long reload time, so I don't want to have to do that very often. And then finally, crit damage. You can go, I believe, 2 headshot perks on this and really focus on headshot damage. I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to go crit rating. And then on hit, bullet splinters into shrapnel, dealing 40% damage in a cone behind the target. To me, that's not a big deal on this weapon. You want this on a weapon that just does tons of single shot damage, like on shotguns and things like that. On this, the single shot from this isn't that high of a number, so it's not going to be doing that high of damage when it does the splinters into shrapnel, and then you can't do it again for another 1.5 seconds. So there you go. Overall, for this, I am going to enjoy using this weapon because it is a control fire weapon. It's not a all-out Uzi machine gun weapon, but I gotta admit, it is not all that great. If you need a good base assault rifle, this is a good thing to have, but there's definitely better things out there that have come out in the past. And let's see, I really like still for weapons, got my Pain Train. The other one was the Hemlock, which are just killer assault rifles that do tons of damage. And then a lot of times I just switch back over to like my Super Shredder. And then if you want to take out a Smasher or take out husks that are like 20 to 50 levels higher than you, Blunderbuss. This thing is awesome for taking out those really high hit point husks. But there you go. That's my thoughts on it. It's in the store now, so definitely go ahead and grab it if you want it. And take care and have an amazing day.